Loud men want to prove strength. Silent men don't need to prove anything. And that is precisely where the weight is. A man's power is not in the volume of his voice, but in the quality of his presence. If you are watching now, I ask you one thing. Stay until the end. Because what you're about to understand here is not motivational tips. It's an internal shift. And if this content resonates with you, like and comment, so more silent men can awaken. Let's begin. Imagine a place full of noise. People competing for attention, disputing space, raising their voices to be heard. Amid the chaos, there is a calm man. He does not try to impose himself. He does not try to win by shouting. He is simply there, firm, present, conscious. And for some reason, every person notices him, even without him trying. This is the paradox few understand. The less you try to be seen, the more natural the respect you generate. And this is what we will deepen now, through 7 topics that go far beyond the obvious. If possible, write down every insight that makes you pause. Men change when they understand, not when they rush. 1. Noise reveals intention. Silence reveals essence. Men who talk too much reveal insecurity without realizing it. A loud voice becomes an improvised armor, but every improvised armor is fragile. Silence, however, is not a mask. It is the absence of the need to wear masks. The man who talks excessively reveals a hunger for approval. The silent man reveals an abundance of self-control. The more you try to control how others see you, the less control you have over yourself. And here is the Stoic point few perceive. If you are concerned with others' opinions, you are not concerned with yourself. When a man speaks only what is necessary, every word becomes an extension of his identity, not of his anxiety. Expanded application. During a conversation, notice when you are speaking just to fill space. Stop, breathe. Let silence exist between sentences. Notice how the environment reacts. Notice how you react. Silence is presence, and presence is strength. If this topic already made you think differently, consider subscribing to the channel. Here we don't speak to impress, we speak to transform. 2. Silence is the first form of discipline. Most people react, few choose. The difference between an ordinary man and a disciplined man begins at the mouth. The first says what he feels in the moment. The second says only what makes sense afterward. Discipline doesn't begin at the gym. It doesn't begin at work. It begins in the space between an emotion and a word. And that space is called self-mastery. When you pause before speaking, even for half a second, you are telling yourself, I command. This changes your posture, your internal rhythm, your clarity. And when you maintain clarity while the environment loses order, others notice. They don't say anything, no, but they notice. Expanded application. If you're the kind who responds too quickly, train conscious pauses, not to control the environment, but to control yourself. Pause is discipline. Discipline is strength. And silent strength is always respected. 3. Silent men hear what others ignore. Most people listen to respond. Few listen to understand. Almost no one listens to see. When you're not trying to impress, your mind is free to perceive details the noise cannot capture, the discomfort in someone's eyes, the hesitation before a sentence, the contradiction between speech and gesture, the kind of behavior that reveals more than any words. Silent men don't have a gift, they have focus. When you don't seek approval, you observe more. When you observe more, you understand better. When you understand better, you act better. Expanded application. In your next social encounter, cut 70% of your speaking. Be the observer. Ask 2 or 3 strategic questions and notice how effortlessly people start paying attention to you because you are not competing. At this point in the video, if you're still here with focus, comment below. I observe. This strengthens your internal commitment and helps the content reach those who need it. 4. Silence is not submission, it is emotional sovereignty. Modern culture sells an illusion that confidence means speaking always, arguing always, positioning yourself always. But this is often just anxiety dressed as courage. Stoicism teaches that true sovereignty is mastering yourself, not the environment. It is responding with intention, not impulse. The silent man does not avoid speaking out of fear. He avoids speaking out of choice. He understands that every word is a currency. The more you spend, the less value it has. Using your voice intentionally is what builds respect. And when you speak only when it truly matters, the impact is greater. Expanded application. Stop over-explaining. Stop justifying everything. Stop narrating your plans. Act first. Speak afterward, and only if necessary. Those who must validate everything they do show internal doubt. Those who act with conviction demonstrate emotional sovereignty. 5. Silence creates gravity. Gravity is the ability to influence without touching, to be perceived without forcing. And silent men possess this naturally because they are not scattering their energy outward, they are concentrating it inward. When you don't reveal everything about yourself, you create depth. When you don't overexpose, you create solidity. When you don't try to convince, you create respect. Masculine gravity is born from silent consistency, and the human mind is always drawn to what is consistent. Expanded application. Do not reveal all your intentions. Do not open every detail of your personal life. Do not share everything you feel in real time. Not as a tactic, but as maturity. The strength you hold inside begins to create respect outside. At this point in the video, if your mind is still here, I ask something simple. Share this video with a man who needs to discover his own gravity. Men grow in silence, but they rise together. 6. He who masters silence masters conflict. When tension rises, a loud voice loses precision, emotion replaces reason, conflict becomes a contest of impulses. The silent man does not enter this game. He observes before acting. He thinks before speaking. He maintains posture while others lose center. This doesn't command respect through threat. It commands respect through stability. Respect is born from the perception of balance, and balance is something few can maintain in critical moments. Expanded application. When someone provokes you, don't respond immediately. Let the impulse pass. Speak with clarity and firmness, not emotional heat. This is how conflicts are diffused, and this is how your presence becomes stronger. 7. Silence is a declaration of strength that doesn't need to be said. The world asks you to prove who you are. Stoicism asks you to be who you are. The silent man is not looking for a stage. He is looking for direction. He is not looking for spectators. He is looking for growth. And this is why his presence is naturally respected. Silent strength is discreet, consistent, continuous. It appears in daily choices, in habits, in stability, in serenity. Expanded application. Create a daily block of intentional silence. Morning or night, no screens, no noise. Just you with yourself. This habit alone rebuilds your internal structure. If this topic made sense to you, comment, "Silence is strength." It reinforces your own intention. Conclusion. The authority that does not announce itself. The central point is simple but deep. Noise tries to convince. Silence transforms. The loud man seeks validation. The silent man seeks direction. And those who seek direction naturally become stable. Those who become stable naturally earn respect. Silence is not the absence of voice. It is the presence of self-control. And self-control is the heart of masculine strength. If something in this video spoke to you, remember, silent men do not ask for respect. They build gravity. They build consistency. They build direction. Before you leave, I ask, without noise, without pressure, subscribe to the channel if you want to walk in this direction, a direction that is firmer, calmer, more silent, and infinitely stronger. And remember the final phrase, the man who controls his voice controls his direction. The man who controls his silence controls himself.